Good evening, otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark mask diva. So there's a whole bunch of talk on TikTok. There's a little bit of talk on YouTube about the orange peel theory. Now, you guys all know what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to describe it in case you are not on the internet all the time. The orange peel theory is you take a piece of fruit, an orange, you give it to your significant other, ask them to peel it for you. All right. If they refuse to peel it for some reason, you should not stay in the relationship. Okay, that's the theory. All right. And I agree with that. If they refuse to peel it for you, you should not stay in the relationship. Now, if there's something wrong with their hand or something like that, like if they just broke their hand or, cut their hand or something like that, if there's some reason they really can't peel the orange, that's an exception, okay? You shouldn't, if they just hurt themselves, you should not, ask them to peel an orange for you. That's kind of silly, right? So there are exceptions to that. You shouldn't ask them if there's some extenuating circumstance. You should not ask them to do that for you, okay? But in most cases, the reason for that is, all right, the whole point of a relationship is because the other person is working as a team with you, all right? The whole point of being in a relationship is the other person is showing you acts of kindness and compassion, all right? And the other person is easing your burdens. Here's something that a lot of people are not bringing up in some of these things that I've been watching about the orange peel theory. Your partner, all right, and some people may not agree with me, and that's okay. Okay, your partner should not be trying to push you towards independence. When you're in a relationship, if your partner is trying to push you towards independence, doesn't that cancel out the whole reason you're in a relationship? You don't want your partner to be telling you you're better off alone. They shouldn't be handing the orange back to you and telling you to peel it yourself. Because you're thinking, well, I don't need you if you're not going to do things for me. Right? If I should just peel this myself, what do I need you for? You're not going to help me do things? There are times when we are going to need each other's help. And if a person is not willing to do a simple thing for you that you ask them to do, and that is an absolutely simple task, if they just can't do a simple thing like that, you really don't need them, okay? So, so that's really, there's no reason they should be telling you no when it comes to peeling an orange, all right? That's one of the simplest things to do. Even I can peel an orange, and my hands are very weak. Okay, I have a heart condition. I can't open pill bottles. Like, I have to ask a talon to open pill bottles. I have a hard time opening the front door. Okay, even I can peel an orange. All right. I might ask him to do it just to see if he would do it, and I know he would. All right, but there's no reason somebody can't peel an orange. I heard, I was talking to Atalon about the orange thing, right? And he said he heard something so stupid that this guy said, no, I made my girlfriend peel the orange. She needs to be more independent. And I'm thinking, gosh, I hope she dumped him. That's dumb. If you're with a guy and he's trying to make you more independent, that means he's using you, okay? If any guy wants an independent woman, he's not a keeper, he's a user. You need to get, any guy wants an independent woman. That means he absolutely does not cherish you, okay? That means he doesn't love you, all right? So the orange peel thing is actually a good thing. All right, and a lot of people are like, this is so ridiculous and all this other thing. No, it's actually It's actually a pretty good thing. And usually I'm like, you really should not be testing your partner. I mean, it seems really childish. It seems manipulative. I would not ever test Etalon like that. And I'm telling you because I don't have to test him like that. All right. He and I do nice things for each other all the time. He knows I'm strong and I can't do certain things, so he just does the things for me. I don't have to worry about a guy who wants an independent woman. He knows I'm not independent. He doesn't want me to be independent. We do nice things for each other all the time. If I ever needed him to peel an orange, he would. That's really just not a big deal. But yeah, any guy who's trying to make you more independent, that's not what you want. You want a partner, and I'm talking man and woman. All right, you want a partner who's willing to do little, nice, kind gestures for you. All right, so this goes both ways. Okay, you want someone who's willing to do nice, kind gestures with you. Now, I'm going to talk about something that is even you don't have to test somebody with this. Okay, but this is an even bigger deal than peeling oranges. Okay, this is something that I noticed with a lot of people, and I get this asked a lot on Quora, and this kind of popped up with this friend of mine that was in a relationship, and she came to me with this, and I just sat there like, oh my God, he did what to you? Okay, so I get asked this a lot, and my friend came to me with this. What do you do when you're walking with your partner? And this is male-female relationships, but I think it also kicks in with same-sex relationships, depending on who takes the male role and who takes the female role. Okay, so let's just say whoever is the man in the relationship. Okay, if you're walking and he speeds up when you're walking, or he's walking ahead of you, all right, and I don't mean just like an inch or two ahead of you. I mean he's substantially walking paces ahead of you, okay, and he's speeding up when you're walking, and you're having to huff and puff and try to keep up with him, and he's speed walking, and he's being inconsiderate. Okay, so at the very least, this is inconsiderate. All right, but I'm letting you know right now he does not care about you. So at the very least, he's inconsiderate, and this is at the very least. But at the most, he doesn't want to be seen with you. But he's disregarding you. He's letting you know he doesn't really love you, and he doesn't really want to be with you. Okay? But a lot of guys do this when they don't want to be seen with you. They are subconsciously telling you that they don't want to be seen walking with you. All right? And some guys do this when you're in a relationship with them and they don't really want to commit to you. So this is a subconscious thing that guys do when they don't actually really want to be with you, when you're in a placeholder relationship. All right, so they speed up and do that. This is another thing narcissistic guys do to establish dominance. So I'm not saying that you should test guys and walk with them and do that, but that's just something that you need to be aware of when you're walking and he's speeding up and he's walking ahead of you like that. Now, you might want to disregard this if this is part of your culture, with a man walking paces ahead of you like that. If he's walking ahead of you and you're following and stuff like that, if this is part of your culture. All right, I don't know what to tell you. So it may not be a diss if this is just something that you do in your culture. So I don't know where that comes from, what that's about, if he's supposed to lead and you're supposed to follow, what that means or anything like that. So I can't do a deep dive on that one. I can't really say anything about that because I don't know your culture or why you do that. I'm just saying in mine and in most people's cultures, when the man speeds up and does something like that, it means something really bad. Okay, and that's probably more of an indicator than the whole orange peel thing. Now I'm going to tell you what was happening with a friend of mine. She was in a relationship with this guy that was just like a real user. Okay, she had been in an abusive marriage and she had these 3 kids. All right, now this particular friend of mine, she was very overweight. And she had these 3 kids that were problem kids, okay? They were like undesirable kids, okay? So she had this bad ex-husband, but then she moved this guy in that really like wasn't trying to propose to her or anything, but he was just this tool of a boyfriend, right? So he was staying there and he was being mean to her kids, and they were already kids with problems. So he would pretty much, and this was not even during COVID, okay? This was like way before COVID. He would walk like 6 feet ahead of her when they were walking. He would just speed up and just walk way ahead of her. And she would have a hard time keeping up because she was overweight. And I mean, I have a hard time, keeping up when people are walking fast because I have a heart condition. So, people speed walking with me, I just simply wouldn't put up with it. I go, you need to walk slow if you're walking with me. And people speed walking with me, I take a great offense to it. I mean, because I take it like, hey, this person does not like me. Because, they already know I have health problems. So if they speed walk with me, I'm like, wow, this person really doesn't like me. But this guy would walk, like 6 feet ahead of her, at least. I mean, and he would just like walk way ahead, and her kids would just be running all over the place, and she would just be like huffing and puffing and trying to keep up. And I mean, it was just really sad to watch. And it was obvious that he was ashamed to be seen with her, okay, and her unruly children. And I know what you're thinking. You're looking right at me and going, lady, you look just like Chucky. Go over there, scare her ex-husband, scare the tool of a boyfriend, and scare all those kids. Okay, I wish it was that easy. All right, and to be honest, they're all scarier than me. So I'm not going over there with my Chucky-looking self and scaring anybody today, okay? It just isn't going to happen. I'm sorry. I know I look just like Chucky, but I'm not going to do it, okay? Can't do it. So this was more like a chicken and egg situation, okay? Like, you don't know what came first. You don't know if her marriage was bad, so the kids were bad, or the kids were bad and it messed the marriage up, or you don't know if it's her health and she just couldn't be a good mom, or you don't know if the boyfriend, was just being horrible, so the kids were acting up. But the thing about the kids is she just was not able to establish proper parameters. She was not able to put any real boundaries on the kids. I mean, when I was around, and I really love kids, you guys. Like, I love kids so much. But she would not, like, properly give them any boundaries or give them any limitations or let them know anything they were doing was wrong. And you can do that and it'd still be really nice. But she would not correct them at all. And I think that is really bad for children psychologically. If they don't know between right and wrong, they don't know where the limits are and the boundaries are, that makes them feel really insecure. That makes them feel really out of control. And when you feel out of control, what do you feel? You feel insecure and you don't like yourself, right? As adults, we feel like that. And what are children? They're small adults. So these children were going around feeling bad about themselves all the time. So the mother was unable to give them any structure. So these children were not getting any structure. Well, here's the boyfriend who's walking, 6 feet ahead of her all the time. He's being mean to the kids because he's reacting to them not having any structure and discipline. So he is overcompensating and being mean to them. Of course, because he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the mother, and he doesn't care about them. And he's not a father. He's just this horrible person living in her house. So he's being really awful to them. So meanwhile, she can't be a proper emotionally present for these children because he's being so abusive to her. They're watching him treat their mother like garbage. All right, so this is being modeled for them. So the whole thing is just, one big cycle of something horrible. But I know I'm going down a rabbit hole, but my whole point is this is the kind of person who walks 6 feet ahead of you when you're walking. And her ex-husband, he was the kind of guy who also walks ahead of you when you're walking. So it's not like she upgraded. I mean, I think this guy was even worse than her ex. And her ex, it was a good thing she left him. Because he was mistreating her, and he wasn't good to the kids either. I don't even think he wanted the kids. I mean, these kids were, having to experience just people not being emotionally present in their lives. And when they were, somebody was being mean to them. They were not being nurtured properly, okay? And they were being reactive. So there was a lot of, reactive abuse going on. All right. But this is the kind of person that walks ahead and speeds up when you're walking. All right. And I'm pretty sure he would not peel a piece of fruit. I'm pretty sure the children's father would not even peel a piece of fruit for them. Okay. So all that to say is the walking thing. I think the walking thing is even more indicative than the fruit peeling. So, but the fruit test, a lot of people think it's obnoxious. A lot of people, I don't think you should go around testing your partner. I think you should just look for little signs. Are they trying to make you more independent? Are they being inconsiderate of you? Are they walking too fast for you? Walking too fast is awful. Speaking as somebody who's never been able to walk fast because I have a health condition. People walking too fast, I'm thinking this person obviously doesn't care about me. And it's a hard pill to swallow. But as someone who's never been able to keep up in the fast walking game, that's how I've been able to sort people out. I'm like, this person doesn't care about me. Next. Get rid of the person. First I'll bring it to their attention. Hey, you're walking too fast for me. Just in case because some people just are oblivious to the fact that you're not as physically capable as you appear, because I seem more energetic than I really am, it's like, I really can't walk that fast. Okay. Honestly, maybe I look like I can't. So I can't walk that fast. Once you bring it to their attention, they should never do it again. But you should not have people making you try to keep up. Ladies, you should not have men be making you more independent. You should have men cherishing you, making you feel feminine, treating you like a lady, just being kind to you. You shouldn't have a man who's a doormat, but you should have a man who is making your life easier. You should not ever be with a man who's making your life harder. If the man is making your life harder, you need to be alone. Okay, because the world is a scary place. Men are supposed to be solving problems and making your life easier. Okay, because men are meant for practical, they're meant to protect you, and they're meant to solve problems. They're not meant to create problems and make your life harder. Okay, they're not supposed to be making you cry. They're not supposed to be hurting your feelings. They're not supposed to be making you feel ugly and less than and worthless. Okay? If you need an orange peel, they're supposed to be doing that. If you need a door opened or you want a door opened, they're supposed to be doing that. Okay? And that's, you're supposed to be partners. You're supposed to be doing things together. They're supposed to be making your life easier. All right? They're not supposed to be toxic. And if there's a part of you that craves a toxic man, you need to look at yourself. If you're tolerating a toxic man, you need to look at yourself. If you're tolerating a guy who walks too fast or won't peel an orange for you, you need to look at yourself. All right? Same thing, guys. If you're craving a toxic woman, you need to look at yourself. You're unhealed. All right? There's something wrong with you, and you need to look at yourself, because a lot of people are attracted to toxic people, and there's something unhealed in you if you're attracted to toxic people. Because I was for a long time. I struggled with addiction, and I was attracted to toxic people because I had an addiction. So that was a part of me that was unhealed. And once I kicked the addiction, I was no longer attracted to toxic people because I no longer had a problem. I was whole. There wasn't that part of me that was broken anymore. I was finally able to be myself, and I was finally able to ask for what I needed. I liked myself. I wasn't dependent on a substance anymore to keep myself, straight. I was good. So if you're tolerating behavior from people that you should not, you need to look at yourself, because it's your problem and you need to own it. All right? Have people peel your oranges for you. Okay? This is Queen Juliana, your Dark Mask Diva. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.